she replied, you're gonna make your fortune bye-bye. But if you lose... The ambiguity that I feel never justifies itself. There's always the pungent odor of life's constipation that surreptitiously conflicts with the detrimental instability hitherto for 6'8", who do we appreciate? The unification of Congress, excuse me, condoms, demystifying the squalor of profanity over and over again. Here, let me digress my bowels for a minute and right to the front, the nondescript hernia rectifies the miscommunication of fetal or fecal, depending on where your head is at.
Reading is fundamental.
So let's do not be persecuted by the pompous fedora balanced by the equilibrium fortified by the government's inability to eradicate or foreshadow, taken from the Hebrew word for skin.
Understand what you read. He doesn't.
Paid for by the President's Council on Literacy.
First of all, we must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. Now, if I may retain my liquids here for one moment, I'd like to continue the redundance of my quote-unquote intestinal tract. See, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, excuse me, circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation. So, do not misinterpret the chauvinistic...
Give to the United Negro Scholarship Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to develop without help.
Allow me to expose my colon once again. The ramification inflicted on the incision placed within the fallopian cavities serves to be holistic, taken from the Latin word jalapeno. Legally repressing my buzzitude, I've retracted my gonads with gigantic proportions. And the signing of the prohibition, you see, defecates the fluids of detention between the essence of the ural intercourse, you see.
AT&T allows you to reach out and touch someone, even when they don't get out much.
Right, exactly. Okay, brother, okay. See, all you doing right now is flatulating your liquids. Okay? Because I believe it was Homo erectus that said to expose the hemorrhoidal ramification would merely delineate the colonic orifice, thereby separating the gluteus from the maximus.
Well, Homo was very deep, but you seem to masticate the proclamation, my brother.
Okay.
Because the gastrointestinal phlebitis prostigates the crustacean of the colostomy.
Oh, go ahead.
If that's your bag. Right, and further hindering the pyorrhea, which
Excuse me?
you got me, brother. The diarrhea.
Okay.
Moving toward the angina or vagina, depending on how much time you got.
Man, you are Metamucil.
I know.
Talk to me. If you feel the need, when you need the feeling, talk to me.
Ooh, super. You're gonna make your fortune.
And finally here, there's Oswald. He's one of our most enthusiastic students.
Oh, yeah. The pancreatic philosophy of your book, you understand, has civilized the shadow, you dig? And opened my mucal membranes, you understand, to a world, oh yes, a world of nocturnal commissions.
Gordon, may I?
God! What a lockup!
So, what you're saying then, Oswald, is that the viscous mammalian glands, which stropulate my work,
Right.
clearly disembowel the placentitude of the very recticatality of my virtue.
Exactly, pubile. It is the quasi-menstrual, excuse me, quasi-modo
Point taken.
phlebitis that makes your book so, clitoric
Oh, yes.
and reminiscent of the Oedipus or the pedipus, depending on which end is up.
I think I'm beginning to see the light. The entire premise of my book was wrong.
Way off.
Well, I'd better start on a new version immediately.
Barbara Bush, doing her part in the fight against illiteracy.
Ooh, super. You're gonna make your fortune.
Your daddy's gonna have that talk with you now, okay?
Flatulate yourself over here, my little zygon. Flatulate, flatulate, don't be redundant. Now, you see, when a man liposucks a woman's mammogram, it is the titillating expression between lubrication of two secreting adults. You did?
Yeah. A protract. Chitty chitty bang bangs like frosted many weeks.
No. It's much more mucozoid than that, my little genophilia. It's the adolescent Dukakis that is calculated, you understand, by the insane or Hussein, depending on the confrontation forthwith. Furthermore, post-haste, post-office, creating a mediocre type arsenic treatyology, you understand? Am I being correct?
Gesundheit. A most spectacular off-ramp. But sometimes I'm defecated
Right.
by my misfortune.
That's very antiseptic, my little hors d'oeuvre. But do not homogenize the Neutrogena or Gina, depending on the woman.
That's so Nintendo. My own giblets are under surveillance.
Oh, that's deep. That's my son there. You've radiated mucho ambivalence, as the French people say.
Time's up. Let's go, Oswald.
Hey, remember, don't constipate your mother's hemorrhoids. Fornicate my redemption. I recede to my own bowels.
I think I can handle him.
Well, here we are. Miss Starling, meet Oswald Bates. I'll just leave you two alone to get better acquainted.
Mr. Bates, my name is Special Agent Clarice Starling. I'd like to ask you a few questions, sir. I said I need your help, Mr. Bates.
I can specify your kunta kinte from here.
If you're referring to my cologne, sir, it's called Obsession, something I'm sure you're not unfamiliar with.
Douche, or should I say Summer's Eve?
Your psychological games won't work with me, Doctor. I'm immune.
Ovulate.
Right. I'd like you to take a look at this and see if you can make anything out of it.
I will Pepto-Bismolize and Betty Crocolize any spermation of my smegmatic taxicab, excuse me, maxi pad, the man is sick.
I realize that, sir. That's why I need your help. Where is he going to strike next?
First, proctologize yourself in his Rico-Suavematic gyrations.
Okay. Okay, yes. No, I'm sorry. You're going to have to give me more than that.
Kleenex. You're not constipating. Imogen Coquelize the slaughter of the Labada.
Of course. Albuquerque. That would be in line with his fascination for polysyllabic non sequiturs.
Exlaxity. And now you must spew your liquids for me.
Well, let me put it to you this way, Doctor. The testicularity of the atmosphere, excuse me, pap smear, is not juicified to the, oh, what's the word?
Defecation.
Yes, defecation of your circumcision. That's all I can do.
I can smell your feet!
Ooh, Superfly. You're gonna make your fortune back.
Before we vote on your request for parole, we do have some questions. Do you think you'll be able to adjust to life on the outside?
Allow me to proctologize myself. Suppositorily speaking, my incarceration has forced, you understand, the ventilation of, shall I say, my dairy air. And upon my discharge, I will evacuate, excuse me, ejaculate, my mind to the prophylactic of the bowels of society.
But how would you support yourself, Mr. Bates, considering that your reading comprehension has gone down every year since you've been in prison?
A very vaginative proposition, my man. That is to say, prostitution pertaining to the cotex, you understand, of the argument. I myself have imminentized my liquidation, therefore, ergo, i.e., that is the instigation, which is excessive cleavage, shall we say. So, let me clarify, or, excuse me, clarify. In other words, I'd probably teach.
All right, if there are no further questions, let us put this to a vote. All those in favor of parole vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote nay.
Nay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bates. Is there anything further you'd like to say?
Let me be venereal in my requisition for this body of congregation, see, for the personal gratification of my urethras. As the Greek philosopher Massengill once dictated, lickus my proboscis. Undouche me. I can find my own damnation in tardy completion.
Ooh, Superfly. You're gonna make your fortune back.